Hello, and welcome back to Demon Souls. Last time we did the wee journey to the Nexus, I got pummeled by the boss, as always, spoke to a couple of NPCs, and we were told to go slay some demons and do that by going to one of these Archstones. And there is one, two, three, four, five, six. That one's broken, doesn't count, and they're all locked except this one just now. And I'm not really sure why in terms of lore. I'm not really sure there is a reason, just to make sure you do a little bit of the first bit first, essentially. So I'm going to go here. And with every Archstone, if you're interested in a wee bit of story about the place, there's a wee written bit down the bottom left I do recommend you read. So a huge stone castle is the heart of the northern kingdom of Boletaria. Hungry soldiers attack trespassers, their souls stolen by demons, while nearby terrible dragons have taken roost. So there's a wee warning that there's some dragons here. And here we are, Gates of Boletaria. So it's essentially the big gate that leads to the castle of the main place. So it's quite interesting you start here because you're essentially the kind of main King of Land guy that you've heard all about lives in there, but it's going to take you quite a while to get in there. So let's get started. There's a bunch of guys heading. Oh wait, there's an item back here. You turn around. There's a wee. I think it's some healing stuff, which could come in handy. This kind of world is pretty good for healing stuff. So as you go through here, you end up with absolutely loads of grass. Hopefully, I won't need to use them too much, but you never know. And there's little guys here. They are Dreglings. They do that wee jumping attack quite a lot, and they're so easy to dodge or parry once you get the hang of it. And what's nice is you are invincible during that animation, so you can just do that and you don't have to worry about that guy jumping on me. Let's continue on. So one thing about enemy placements here is I quite like is these people are soul starved, so it's essentially talked about it last time, but the same as kind of going hollow in Dark Souls. And a lot of these people are just here. Essentially, it looks like they're just doing what they did in real life, but just a bit more mad now. So these guys were probably in charge of like defending the castle, and now they just do it forever, kind of aimlessly. So I think the placements of these people make a lot more sense. Whereas with Dark Souls, I think sometimes it could be done with these people were on, the undead journey thing, but went hollow at this spot. So there didn't really need to be a reason for them being there, but these guys all seem pretty well placed, I would say. Right, come on. Boom. The animations feel really good in this one. It feels really, really nice to do that parry. But there we go. You'll occasionally pick up like fire bombs and pine resin here. I would keep them, save them for the boss. It's quite important, especially if you're new. Go. Locked gate here. We will get in there eventually. And if we look up, kind of look up. Let's see if photo mode does it. And you can see some hanging corpses here, and we'll maybe see more of them later on. Here's a bit annoying, there's an archer and then there's two guys. If you are new, do not jump in this hole like I did and like these two are doing. That is instant death, but it looks pretty appealing, to be honest. But yes, instant death if you jump down there. But it looks really sparkly, so I wouldn't blame you. Walk in here, and there's a guy to your right that you need to be aware of, because he will try and smash you. And there's also a guy through this door that might jump at you. Oh. It's a bit easy enough to take care of. There should be a guy in here, yep. And aim through here, and then there'll be two slightly more tougher guys. So far there's only really been these little dreglings who don't really have any armour and just kind of swing wildly with these two. They're not difficult, but they'll be a bit more strategic. Just take it slowly. And then, yeah. Easy peasy. Nothing back here? No. A wee toggle. Go. So there are guys up there that throw firebombs, but they shouldn't get you from down here. This is just the weapon that this class already started with, and I do not like it. I'm not a big fan of the kind of thrusting only weapons. Bit rubbish. Just my preference. So with these, especially if you've never played a Souls game before, diving into people's attacks works really well. Because you've got invincibility frames, they're not gonna like hit you through that dodge. Especially if folk are throwing firebombs at you, you can just go dunk. Plenty of grass. Oh, I almost ran right into that. Nasty. Too slow. Just run past that guy, we'll get him later. So take us outside, and one guy to deal with so far. Oh. Thing to be careful, if you do go for the parry and they stun lock you in that big move, it can pretty much kill you really quickly, so do have to be careful. Ooh. You coming out? And if you look up there, anyone that's played Dark Souls will know what's coming next. Coming down? Nope. And what that's done, again, Dark Souls people will want to check where the boulder went. We can now go down and grab this, and you get your bastard swords, which is a strength weapon, but we do not have the strength for it just yet. I think you need 18 strength. Yep. So it's going to be pretty useless just now. Large sword, similar to a straight sword, is a versatile weapon, but its weight means it usually requires the use of both hands. The smashing overhead attack greatly depletes a target's stamina and easily breaks their guards. But we cannot use it, maybe later. I do have an idea of what weapon I want, and I forgot to show you, but there's the start of the level. And if you look, we went up those steps, but there's a whole area down there, the kind of executioner's area. You can see what looks a bit like crucifixes and stuff, and a thing where people get hanged, can't remember what it's called, but you can get down there in a certain circumstance, and we will go there later because you can get a weapon there from an enemy that I really, really want, and I've never used, but I've just heard it's very good. So I'll go up here and kill this guy now. One of the reasons that R2 is good, in this kind of tight corridor, your slash might occasionally hit off the walls, so having the straight thrust can be pretty handy. Just watch, you'll get hit by arrows here, by this guy here. Oh, aye. Oh, you dick. There's some people over there, but I'm not going to bother them just now because there's not really much point going over there. You can get like an item, it's not that big a deal, and over there Can you see him from over here? If you look very, very closely, you can see a little red, tiny little red dot, and that's the eyes of a knight. That's actually quite tough, and you don't really get in for beating him. It's an area later on that you'll go to, but there's no point right now. Oh. So they get those healed. So those guys can heal, which is annoying, and the best thing to do really is just two-hand them and then just smash them, because you will just break through them pretty easily. So you're now left with 3 routes. There is the door, which people might be drawn to. There's also, you'll probably read this message, they'll say to jump down, probably, yep. You can go down there and there is an item that you might quite like. But the best thing to do is actually head over here, because what we're going to do is unlock our first shortcut. Some more firebombs. Again, they'll be pretty useful later. You have to be kind of careful going down here, because there is actually quite a lot of enemies. Hopefully this guy kills himself in the fire. No, he doesn't. Take too long. And as you work your way down, there are more and more people. And again, especially if you're kind of a class with maybe less vitality, these guys can pretty much one-shot you if they get you in their big combo. So just have to watch out for that. Got it here. And actually, you might remember, if I go to photo mode, this was where the 2 bodies were. And they are held up with these chains. And it's kind of weird that they've put this mechanic in where you can break the chains. But as far as I'm aware, it doesn't appear in the game ever again. Which is kind of odd, I think. Right, keep heading down. And there's a bunch of guys. So this can get pretty tricky. So if you can just try and get one at a time. Oh dear. Ooh. Sometimes they actually die for that jump. Oh, that's why, because they hit the barrel. Right, okay. I've always wondered that. I'll just set them that purpose. Pro strat move. And then we open up this. And another reason to get this shortcut is this is potentially the best ring in the game. The Cling Ring. Mysterious ring shaped like an eye, which again is so kind of disappointing in terms of description. You would like a little bit of lore here, but reduces the loss of HP sustained in soul form. And if I put this on, you can now get up to 75% of your health back, which is just so helpful. And you'll have this on, well, you probably should have this on every single time you're not in human form. So take this, old ragged boots, and just the gear set, which is a bit weird. Something that was never in Dark Souls is I can't put that on because it's gendered, so only female characters can put these robes on, which seems a bit kind of weird, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. There's not a huge amount here. It's just saying it's layers of ragged fabric covered in tears, open seams, and writhing grubs. No person in their right mind would don these garments of their own accord. And then this young lady here, jade hair ornament. Let's have a look. Yes, a plain jade hair ornament of the kind worn by commoners. Looks nice. So now we can head back up. Some people might be wondering, if I'm at a shortcut, why don't I go back and level up? Because you actually cannot level up until you beat the first boss. So you just have to keep going. Oh, those phantoms make me shit myself every time. All the way back up. All enemies should be dead. Back here. If you go down this way, you're going to have to do a wee bit of backtracking. I'm going to do it just to show you, but I'm probably never going to use the item you get. So you get a light crossbow, I like ranged weapons in this, but I prefer using a bow. Take that. So he's the guy originally that stood up there and just threw firebombs, and that's essentially the only way to get to him. So now we've been here, so I'm just going to run back up. I got about this item. Just some more healing. And then we're back up here. So again, I'm going to ignore that bit down there because I don't really need it. And then we'll head through the fog. And this is taking you to your first little bit. That is kind of optional, but if you're just a wee bit, just use your kind of like wits about you here and look. There's a guy there. Guy's down there, and there's an item that's really supposed to be taking your eye here. How do you get to that item? And I wish they'd maybe telegraphed this a wee bit more. You can vault this, and I guess they're showing you that it's not got all this kind of shrubbery, but it could be clearer, I think. And instead of dealing with that guy, I'll get him later, because you're going to be coming. We're going to go round and then back out through that way, and I can come back and get him. So for now, I'm going to jump over and see one of the better NPCs, I think, in the game.
That was a bold leap. A surprise indeed. Well, now that you are here, pray thee, fend off these dreglings.
This guy's weird. Look at his... I mean, he's got such fancy armour. He's got a pure badass shield, a pretty cool sword, and he's asking us to go and fight this guy. This guy. I mean, they have flame swords, to be fair. But still. So, again, here's another one of the best items in the game that you maybe wouldn't expect, but become harder for enemies to detect. So, ancient sapphire ring that conceals the bearer's presence from enemies up to a distance. So, this can be very, very, very overpowered in certain circumstances where you're wanting to try and get past enemies without taking notice. Really, really handy. So, let's hope. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to... Oh, shit! These guys... Oh, shit. These guys, if they get... Oh, shit. They can do some damage. Oh my god, what's going on here? Right, come on. Take this seriously. I swear to God, I've never had this much hassle with an enemy in this game than I just did there. Jesus fuck. Right, and I've just spunked a late moon grass. Oh, that was a disaster class. Right, whew. Back in it.
My thanks for your brave rescue.
Anyways.
I am a Strava of Boletaria. Accept this as a token of my gratitude.
Telescope. So, one thing about NPCs in this game is they can die, and this guy will do it. He just walks away, and you're like, cool, I'll just head off somewhere else and leave him to it. But no, he will die if you do that. So, you kind of have to babysit him through his route here, or you're going to miss out on his quest line. I mean, it does take him a while to die. He's not terrible, but he will eventually just get himself stuck. So you do have to keep an eye on him. Thankfully, it doesn't last too long. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy will just destroy him. On you go. Get him. Right. There's a bunch of enemies. Oh, where's it going? Alright. Oh, get the way, mate. Oh. Don't remember him. Right, and then there's a bunch of guys down here, so if you are not careful, again, you can get really, really, really easily just comboed. I'll let him take some of the hits. I think there might be some more. There is. Right, and now he'll head back up here and get himself killed by this man in here. So I'll go get him too. Right, and that's his little route done. He'll just keep going back and forward those bits, and he should be fine. But I can head out here. Come on. See, I mean, about the narrow hallway that could have done me in there. Ooh. Okay, that's just done. There's the Strava still walking about his wee mindless path. Head up here. Am I going to go this way just yet? Yes, so you go up here, there is an ambush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run right through. There's a guy here. Whoa. There's a guy here. Oh no. Oh, dick. Right, not the cleanest, but I'll take it. And if you remembered, there was a guy just round from where I jumped down, and that was over there. So that's where I jumped down, and now I'm back, full circle. Right, so I'll go back through here. I will go back to that little ambush bit in a wee minute, but what you can do is go through here. And we've got a wee merchant. And with the merchants in this game, they're kind of like, almost like the item descriptions. You talk to them and they get a pretty good lore rundown from them. So,
care to look over my wares? Mostly stolen, but who's telling eh? Brave knight or lowly fodder? The demons snatched their souls regardless of their station, plummeting them all into madness. And those who dare cling to their humanity were hunted down. It is the end of great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in battle. There's this skinny fellow, clad in the most lavish armor, who's always mumbling about some mission. He's another one who's managed to stay sane, like yourself. Probably some pampered little lordling by the looks of his attire. I'd give an arm just for the buttons off his shirt. It is the end of great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in battle.
so here's a bit of interesting dialogue. A lot of like classism going on in what he's talking about here. So he mentioned first about at least the demons don't send them to our deaths, kind of suggests that maybe these guys are just like fodder on the front line, so not really cared about. They can die if they need to. And then he talks about, so the person he's talking about in the armour is a Strava that we've seen already, and he says something like he would give an arm for just a button on his coat. Again, suggests he's very poor. But he's right, the guy is pretty rubbish, even though he's got lovely armour. Okay, and
Take your time.
and
I'm
see,
not going anywhere.
this guy's nice. You don't buy in. He's like, oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I think that'll do us. I was hoping to get to the boss, but it's going on a wee bit longer than I was expecting it to. So I'll leave it here, and then we will get the boss next time. Right? Thanks, everyone. See you later.